Hi, Annie. Welcome to our call today.
Hi, how are you?
Everything is fine here in Nairobi. The weather is a bit chilly, but manageable. How about you?
I am in New York City, so the weather right now is about 81 degrees, 82. So it's going to be a very nice day. Hopefully it stays this temperature because if it changes, it's going to be too hot.
81 already is quite warm. I think we can start, Annie, with you, introducing yourself and, tell us what you do and possibly also your journey in the technology space.
Sure. My name is Anie Akpe. I am a serial entrepreneur. My special focus right now has been on African women in technology. One of the reasons why I feel like that is such a key area of focus, and I've been doing it for over 7 years now, is specific to the fact that as women advance in their careers within technology or even entrepreneurship, they face challenges. I know that working as a person that is in corporate America, I work in banking and fintech, that some of the challenges that I had to face as I progressed throughout my career. So with that challenges, I said, let me create an environment where women can learn and then also have the opportunity to advance their careers by the knowledge that we'd be invoking. And then also get other women that are more experienced to be as mentors or to be as guides for the women that are just entering within a technology space.
I know you from running, Innov8tiv. Obviously, I think that's where
Yeah.
most of the people know you from. Maybe you can also tell us a bit about Innov8tiv.
A little over 10 years ago, I launched Innovative Technology blog. The blog uh, highlights entrepreneurs and technology, blockchain, whatever the case may be. That has always been my focus as a person that said, you know what, you've made it to a certain career highlight within corporate America. Now it's time for you to give back to the community. So with being able to do that, not just create events that happen in New York City, but also creating a technology blog that has a special focus on anything that we find that people would find wanting to know more knowledge of as it relates to the continent. So a lot of people are interested in things that are maybe happening, with Africa. So we tried to publish a lot of those articles. And that's how Innovative came to be. We started with like 3 readers, and now we're over 1 million readers, and I've had it over 10 years. So that is one of the aspects that I have. Blockchain technology has been big for us in terms of the things that we do. I'm currently working on a project with Eugene, who is from Kenya. And so it's a lending protocol that he's actually building out, which will allow us to be able to help people create wealth with cryptocurrency. So, but that's one of the topics that we always cover within Innov8tiv is, Bitcoin and the many uses of other cryptos besides Bitcoin.
That's great. I mean, Eugene is obviously a friend of BitKE, so that's good to hear. And maybe also, Annie, at this point, even before we get into blockchain and crypto, which you're obviously big and you offer a lot of education, maybe you can tell us, why does education matter? I know that's your forte, but just give us a glimpse of why education truly matters.
I've always found that education, no matter what form it is, because people say you need your 4-year degree, right? So when you get your 4-year degree, it shows discipline. It shows that you're able to complete something, and it shows that you specialized in something, right? So when you complete your 4-year degree, most people look up to you. And then there's certifications that I believe is important. We know that within the technology space, you're not going to learn a lot of things that you learn in college. You learn the foundations of business, you learn the foundations of computer systems. But as you move on within a tech space, it becomes more specialized. So with it being specialized, it has to be certificates. And those certificates are the ones that's going to offer you training. Some people are self-taught, which is rare. But a lot of people know that to get hired for certain jobs, let's just say cybersecurity has all types of certificates that you need to get and acquire before you could advance. So I believe that education is very key, and continuous education. Just because you have like one set of degrees or one set of certifications doesn't mean that you don't need to look at others. You definitely need to start looking at it and seeing how you can advance yourself even more, because maybe it may not be to advance that current path that you're on, but you never know where it's going to play a part in your future and in your future endeavors.
So along those lines, maybe you can also let us know what are some of the initiatives that you have around, education. I know you're also very big in, women empowerment. Maybe you can also let us know how some of your initiatives are also contributing to that.
Sure. When it comes to the women empowerment and African women in technology, I believe in partnering with organizations. We've partnered with like Google, with the Ubers of the world, also with Microsoft. I think it's education that they offer is priceless. I mean, they pretty much own a huge chunk of the tech space. So that with their products and then also with their education. So I believe it's good for us to partner and to be able to afford women that opportunity to learn from them. So I think that, that's what's going to help a lot of the women move up and move on with their careers, or just to be within a space where they understand the technology. It isn't every day that, you have access to people that are actually creating it. So when we partner with those organizations, it allows them to learn about it. It allows them to see how it can be implemented. And then also if they're building out any type of platform, why they should implement it. So I think that whenever we have a special focus, we have some men that will say, is this just for women? And, I tell them, listen, it is geared towards women, but we're not going to stop the men from coming. And we always have at least 20 to 30 men that come, and they're like, I learn more when I'm with the women than when I'm with the men, or any other conference that they go to. And I always found that to be hilarious. But nevertheless, when people think women empowerment, they think that women are bashing men. We don't do that at the conferences that I host. That's not the focus. The focus is actually on the technology and why women need to be involved. And then also to talk about some of the challenges that they may face when someone doesn't understand, or when you're trying to relate something and you're the boss and there's nothing but men in the room. And some men may feel challenged by that. So, and how the woman should respond. So not necessarily in terms of like saying, oh, men are bad because they don't let women in, or whatever the case may be. That's not it. It's just teaching women how they themselves should respond to those challenges that they face, and then telling them to focus in on aspect, focus in on your education, focus in on just being confident, so that this way you can convey the message that you need to convey. So that's why for me, it's important to teach women those skill sets, because that's more like a understanding that you're constantly negotiating in life. So if you can negotiate in life, that's going to get you far no matter who you're working with, because some women can be a challenge too. But once you learn those negotiation skills, you'll always succeed and be elevated in life.
Maybe at this point, Ania can ask, this word, it's often thrown around, women empowerment or empowerment. Maybe you can also break down to us, what does, empowerment really mean? And
For
with
me,
women in context, obviously. Yeah.
For me, women empowerment, since it's African Women in Technology that I run, and Kenya's our biggest base actually. When I think of women empowerment, I think of just education. I think that there's nothing that moves you further than education. And as I mentioned in education, it's not just through the 4-year degrees, it's also the certificates that you need, and it's also acquiring knowledge. Knowledge for me comes in the form of being able to talk about things that you're not aware of. There are people that are specialized in those areas, that they're completely aware. They pay attention to all the current trends. They know what's coming. They know what AI is doing. They know what their AI is being programmed to do, and everything else, and what the latest AI technology is. But not everyone knows that information. So I believe that by pulling women together with other women that are very resourceful, or that are working in those spaces, it allows everyone to be educated. And when you're educated, you're empowered. Now, no one can come and, bamboozle you, or say this is not possible, or not even allow you to be creative. I believe that through education, your creativity starts to flow. When you learn about something, you start to think, wow, I wonder if I could do this with this. Or you start to look around your community and start to try to say, let me try to find solutions within the things that's happening in my community. One of the things that we do is design thinking. So design thinking allows us to say, let's focus in on what problems have you identified in your community? And then with those problems that you've identified, what are the solutions? When you're offering the education piece of empowering women, then they're now able to walk away and start to think, wow, I see this problem. Maybe this is a solution. Maybe that's a solution. They're already starting to program themselves to be creative, to think about the next solution. That to me is what empowerment is, allowing you to get the education that you need so that within your reality or your community, you're able to look at problems and think of solutions. So that's what makes people empowered, is through education.
Great. And now speaking about that empowerment and education, blockchain is obviously one of the areas where you're very much focused. Like you mentioned, blockchain and crypto. Tell us what's Innov8tiv doing along those lines when it comes to blockchain and crypto education, especially for women.
We have when you're on our blog, you're constantly seeing topics on Bitcoin. We focus in on Bitcoin because Bitcoin was the first. Um, and not only the first, but it allows more people have Bitcoin than any other crypto at this point. Well, Ether might be coming very, 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 very close, but nevertheless, it's Bitcoin right now. And the fact that you can now buy something, if let's just say you own equivalent value of $500 worth of Bitcoin. So you're not having to convert it to send that money from Kenya to me, right? So you're now having to send this money, same equivalent value. So I don't have to worry about you losing your ability to transfer that money and losing the value of your money because you're now sending it to me in Bitcoin. So for us, it's very important to teach and educate on crypto because crypto allows everyone to play on the same playing field. So if you're on Innov8tiv and you look up anything Bitcoin or crypto, you're going to see tons of articles on it, only because we felt that that is something that is the most important when it comes to anybody that as it is being labeled like a third world country, right? So when you're in, emerging markets or third world countries, the fiat currency is not as strong. So you lose so much value trying to transfer it from one place to the other. So now here comes crypto that allows us all to exchange, payment, and it's whatever price it is whatever price it is, So you're not having to do massive conversion. So, and I think that that's the best aspect of it, besides the blockchain technology itself. The ability for technology to be so transparent that anybody can look up anybody's wallet information. Doesn't mean you know who the person is, but you have access to that wallet information. So the transparency is there. Unlike banking systems, I mean, I'm in banking, so my first background is in banking, and I've been in banking for over 20 years. So when it comes to banking and the regulations in banking, I believe in it and I think it works. However, banking does not allow people who don't have a lot of money to become rich. It's already established for the rich. And then not only for the rich, but banking is already established for the bank itself. So the bank itself will take money and use your money to make more money and only give you like a small percentage. Whereas when we go into the world of crypto, you yourself can, gain wealth with even just $10 or even $20. You can gain more wealth with smaller amount of money within a space right now. Will it always be this way? We don't know. But we do know one thing: you're not going to get rich off of having money in the banking systems currently. So, but I wouldn't tell anyone or advise anyone, oh, put all your money in crypto. There has to be a balance. You have to spread out your money so that this way, if there's a risk over here, you're not losing everything on one side and you still have another set of monies that hasn't been touched.
So maybe just diving a bit in there, a few things that you mentioned, Anie. So you help, for example, people understand, for example, Bitcoin and investments. Do you offer those kinds of courses or sessions?
We do. We actually have. It's not within African Women Technology. We also host sessions on Clubhouse. Also within Clubhouse, I moderate a topic on DeFi, on NFTs, on crypto regulations. Anything that is related to crypto, we host rooms every Tuesday and Thursday. And also in Twitter Spaces. There's more coming down the pipe with another organization that's based in Kenya. So where we will be hosting regularly topics on crypto and offering more education and what people can do. And also breaking down the regulations that's coming so that people know how to prepare themselves. And some of those regulations are actually taking effect right now, in terms of people preparing for it, or exchanges preparing for it by establishing a certain method by which people use. When it comes to those topics, if you follow me on Twitter, you will always see when we're having those conversations, when we're hosting those rooms. I believe in that. That education is what's going to help us move forward as a people into, building wealth. So why not offer that? And then also in terms of, again, back to education. Once you know information, once you have access to the information, no one can come and just trick you or fool you. You are now firsthand information holder. You make the best decisions.
Blockchain and crypto, they're growing at a massive rate. DeFi, obviously, you being in the space, you can see what's happening, and not just in terms of the level of innovation that's there, but also the adoption that's happening. In your opinion, and also as Innov8tiv, what do you see as the future of blockchain technology in Africa and beyond? Can you break that down for us, what you see?
I actually see, if we're talking about NFTs, I actually see NFTs being used, not just for art, but also for physical objects, which it has been right now. Africa has a lot of history, and we have a lot of like masks and artifacts and things like that. So imagine someone who has those things and wants to sell it, and they put it as an NFT. So now anybody has access to it, anybody can see it, and it's preserved. Because you're selling it as an NFT. So I see NFT being used to sell physical objects as well as art. It could also be a building, who knows, maybe at some point, if the regulations allows it in different countries, someone will put up their house as an NFT sell and then be able to move forward. So I think there's no restrictions as it relates to what you can or can't sell in the NFT world. And moving forward, it'll be a much more easier. And as the laws get more protected around people and the things that they're offering up into that space, you'll find that more things will be added to that space. When it comes to blockchain, we look at Cardano. Cardano is just one aspect of a crypto that is moving forward and trying to do education, and also building out, helping governments to build out. The good thing about Cardano is, the countries that they're working in, Ethiopia, Uganda, I think Tanzania, I forgot the other countries, but they are working with government in order to improve internet access. They're working with governments to include transparency. We all know that there's massive of land wherever you are in Africa. Being from Nigeria, the land is always, who owns what? Archiving, storage of information. To be able to store that information and to be able to have access to it, through the blockchain of transparency, it allows people to be able to say, let me pull up this birth certificate, it's right here. No matter where you are in the world, that information is readily available. As we speak right now, those things don't exist. But the idea of those things existing and giving us information, whether we're looking for current information or we're looking for past information into history, blockchain will make that possible with the transparency that it offers. So I think that the future of blockchain is very vast. And, we haven't even begun to, tip the iceberg in it. I think we're just at the beginning stages of it. This is like the little legs that it's getting. As more regulations comes into it, it builds it and allows it to build with some amount of character and to be able to have people that actually can make it work. So that's the only thing I say about blockchain, is that it is something that is really in the works and making it something that we can look forward to in the future.
I also wanted you to talk about a bit on DeFi. Where do you see DeFi headed?
I see DeFi being hit with lots of regulations. I think that it's operating as like a hedge fund, technically speaking. Being in banking, there's so many rules as it relates to hedge funds and securities, that DeFi is going to be put into regulation pool that allows people to be able to be better protected in a sense. The laws come into play to protect people. And when people are crying about losing money, then the law has to step in and create things that are boundaries. Is it always a good thing? It is, but is there facets of it that may be cut out or discontinued? Yes. just because people may say, I've lost so much money on this and this and this. So the law says, let me protect the people. So it discontinues whatever product you have going. I think that DeFi is great. DeFi allows for what I mentioned before. It allows for wealth creation, which the banking systems don't offer. DeFi allows for that flexibility of being able to get a loan without anyone looking at your credit or your merits. All they're going to do is judge you based on your current crypto holdings. Do you have enough to pay us back? You know, and with that being said, there's no other criteria. So it takes away from looking at what tribe are you, you know, what's your credit score? If someone, do I really like you as a person? DeFi takes away from all those initial judgmental things that we see right off the bat, and it focuses in on only the coin. How much of it do you have? You know, so I think that DeFi as a future in lending is like the future and the wave of what is coming, and allows the flexibility of people to purchase things or to be able to get access to funds using their own funds initially. We're all saving and we can save. And then now here's an opportunity to not, you don't have to spend your money, but DeFi allows you to borrow against your money. So, and then it allows you to earn interest on it. So you can't complain about something that works really well.
Just as we close, maybe I would like to ask this question. As a banker, obviously,
Yeah.
A lot of people say DeFi is going to replace the banks, it's going to kill the banks. How do you see it?
I don't see that. I actually see DeFi as more like, I don't, there's banking and then there's hedge funds. So hedge funds didn't kill the banks. You know, investment agencies did not kill the banks. So I truly believe that the banking systems aren't going to be replaced. As we speak now, you can see where most countries are already creating laws and regulations that kind of bans crypto from going through the banking systems. So if it's banning it from going through the banking system, it's essentially saying that we're going to protect the banking systems first. So I don't think that the banking systems are going anywhere right now. I think until crypto gets more regulated, once it gets more regulated, then it'll create it has its own banking system, as we lightly call it, because it is some type of banking system. But it won't completely extinguish the current banking system. There will always be some form of it. And in that form right now, for at least for the next 5 to 10 years, it's not going anywhere. So if you ask me 20 years from now, will the banking system exist as it is? No, it's going to evolve into some other type of form of system, which all goes digital in the long run. A lot of people don't like to go into banking, to banks to do anything. So the only thing it's going to do is just evolve into more of a digital space. And it's still going to be called a banking system. And it's still going to work with crypto, and it will still have its own, you know, token or coin that allows them to work. It's just forcing the banking systems to come up to a different level in which they're operating in. As it stands, there's nothing that's going to happen within the next 5 years to change it. Within the next, 10, yeah, because they don't want to lose out on that interest income that crypto community, that the DeFi platforms are now gaining. Because right now we're not seeing the benefit of it if we put our monies in a banking system, unless you have over a certain amount of money, then it benefits you. But if you don't have that, and the masses does not have that, then why would you go to the banks? You're going to go to the DeFi community. So the banks are going to try to tap into that, because guess what? They ultimately lose money. If you're losing money, why wouldn't you go to where the people that are making money? So therefore, they're going to evolve. What they're going to evolve into, we don't know yet. We'll see.
Some people say maybe they might get into DeFi. Do you see that?
I do. I actually do see them getting into DeFi. They're going to create their own portfolio products that allow people to invest in. But again, with their investment, they usually deal with borrowers that are already rich, in a sense. You know what I mean? Most banks on average, I know in the US, if you have over $10,000, you earn a little bit more interest. If you have $500,000, you're definitely going to earn a lot more interest. And then $1 million, you earn a lot more, obviously. And then it tiers up from there. But those numbers, if you take those exact same numbers and you put it in crypto, if you have $10,000 in crypto, you're going to triple your money. If you have $500,000 of crypto, you're going to quadruple your money. And if you have $1 million, the sky's the limit, right now. So it's just a better investment at this time. So it's going to force people to have to change if they want to even enter the money. I'll give you a good example of that. And this is just on the crypto side. So I'll now mention Dogecoin because I like to play around with Dogecoin, even though, I don't promote products and this is not a Dogecoin promotion. However, I like it, right? And I tell people my disclaimer is that never put in any more money than you can afford to lose. So when we look at like a Dogecoin type of effect, we look at Coinbase. Coinbase had no intentions of ever listing a Dogecoin, right? No intentions whatsoever. But because Dogecoin has a strong community and people are buying it left and right, and others that are selling it are making fee income, a Coinbase company who's huge that shouldn't even look at a Dogecoin said, let me start looking at Dogecoin. So now all of a sudden they have it on Coinbase. So because now you can purchase it on Coinbase, now they're starting to make money off of it. Money makes companies move. So that residual income of what they could possibly make makes them make choices that they would have never made before. Same with the banking system. It'll make them make choices and evolve because no one wants to lose out on making more money. So, and these operations are just geared towards making some amount of money. So therefore, if the income is over on one side of the playing field, which is in DeFi, why wouldn't they touch it?
Well put. Actually, when you think about it like that, it makes total sense. Yeah, I can't wait to see how they play in that space. But obviously, I think we can only expect that, they are going to make some move. Anie, so you've talked so much, you have a wealth of information and knowledge. For someone who wants to learn more from you and from Innov8tiv, and I also know you have other, initiatives, Africa Women in Tech,
Yeah.
which you actually did not mention. Maybe you might want to talk a little bit about that.
With African Women in Technology, we created it so that we'd actually be on the ground educating, because that's one of my things that I love to do, obviously. I think education is key. So, but now that COVID has hit, it doesn't allow us to be on the ground like we would like to, because we would go to different countries. We've been to Ghana, Nigeria, Mozambique, Nigeria, Kenya, Mozambique, and then Uganda. The good thing is being able to be on the ground, teaching people is priceless. But with COVID, we're not able to do that. So we had to go into a digital space. But going forward, what the focus is with African Women Technology is instead of us trying to be the ones that are on the ground, why not be the umbrella company that allows other NGOs to be on the ground because they already exist. So why not work with the ones that are already there that exist, and so that we can partner with them and also help them get funding in order to host events, or we get the funding and tell them specifically the areas that we want focused. So our focus right now, blockchain, AI, machine learning. Those are the three areas that are moving rapidly just because we're in digital spaces right now. And most of us are operating in so many different digital forms that those areas are just growing super fast along with cybersecurity. So those areas we would say to an NGO, if you could find someone specializing in these topics and you host 2 workshops, then we would give you the funding. So we're the ones that would get the funding and then forward the funding to them in order to provide that education series. That would require us to partner with universities and co-working spaces. The African Women in Technology has always partnered with colleges and then with co-working spaces, and then also with entrepreneurs. That has always been our aim and goal, and we've done that throughout the years. So the only thing that has changed right now is just COVID changing the way that we operate. So outside of that, will continue with the type of education that is always offered, which is making sure that people understand things and breaks it down and bring in subject matter experts in order to teach and develop out women.
So Anie, as we close, maybe you can let us know where can people find you, or where can they, for example, if they want to take one of your courses, where can they go?
Right. I would always say follow me. My Instagram and my Twitter pages are the same. It's Anie Akpe, Anie Akpe. So you could find me there. Once you find me there, then you'll see like all of the, I have all of the platforms listed. So it'll give you an opportunity to just, follow those platforms as well. as well as, African Women in Technology, you'll see it right on my bio within the social media channels that I'm in. And then also, there's publicity around anything that we're hosting. You'll always see it posted. So you could simply just follow me on either Instagram or Twitter.
Thank you so much, Anie, for talking to us. Yeah, we can't wait to see, what Innov8tiv does, 2021 moving forward. And also thank you once again for spearheading blockchain and crypto education in Africa.
All right, thank you so much. And thank you for having me.